Most people have seen Hamas only on TV. My wife and daughters were there in Gaza and saw Hamas with their own eyes. They experienced pure evil. They saw how Hamas uses hospitals as terror bases. They saw how civilians in Gaza ignores Hamas atrocities. And I see today how much of the world is silent. My name is Yoni Asher. On October 7, my wife Doron and our daughters Aviv, 2 years old, and Raz, 4 years old, were staying at their grandmother's at home in kibbutz Nir Oz. That morning, Hamas death squads invaded. They had AK-47, RPGs, hand grenades, and more. They broke into the house, they stole jewelry, and they stole my family. Hamas terrorists took my wife and little daughters outside to the kibbutz fence. There was shooting all around them. Rockets flying through the sky. The terrorists stole a vehicle from the kibbutz, forced my family on it, and drove them to Gaza. On that day, I was in Tel Aviv. I saw a video on social media of my family being kidnapped. All around them, terrorists screaming, Allahu Akbar. Can you imagine? All my energy left me. I saw black. The worst thoughts a person could think entered my mind. From that moment, I focused on doing everything I could to let the world know what happened to my family. For 16 days, they were held in the home of a family in Gaza. A regular family with a baby of its own held my wife and daughters hostage. Then, for 33 days, my wife and daughters were held in a hospital, without medicine, without any doctors treating them, without even a shower. Nobody in the hospital cared about them. Doctors and nurses knew that a mother and 2 little girls were there and ignored them. Hamas uses hospitals as places of holding hostages, and the world's silent about this. Hamas held my wife and daughters hostage for total 49 days. They were released in November. Almost a year later, there are still hostages held in Gaza. I read that Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar demanding a guarantee for his life as part of the hostages release deal. I have a question. Who is going to guarantee my family life? Who is going to guarantee that my wife and daughters will not be taken hostage again? Hamas promised to carry out more October 7 massacres until Israel is destroyed. How can Hamas leaders ask for guarantee? The people of Israel want a guarantee. It's totally crazy that the terror organization that took grandmothers and toddlers as hostage is making demands of democratic countries. How did we get to this situation? I'll tell you how. The whole world closed its eyes to the threat of Hamas. International institutions like the UN ignored it. NGO ignored it. And some countries like Iran, Turkey, and Qatar supported Hamas. Resources that were intended for humanitarian purposes were diverted to Hamas war machine. My children ask me, what did Hamas want from us? What answer can be given to my 2 young girls? How can I teach them about hatred, about jihad, about anti-Semitism? I will not raise my daughters to hate anyone. I will not teach them to take revenge. Israel is in the front lines in a war for the future of humanity. Equality, human rights, freedom of speech, freedom of religion. These are the values we are fighting for. Hamas is fighting to destroy Israel. Hamas wants to kill everyone who doesn't see the world as they do. The leaders of Hamas army of terror should not ask for any guarantees for their lives until I get an answer to my question. Who is going to guarantee my family's life? Who is going to guarantee the life of my wife and daughters? What happened on October 7 can never happen again.